Everybody's saying call him. Everybody's saying call him.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's too late now.
All right.
All right, sorry guys.
We're gonna call him anyway, guys. We're gonna call him anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna call him. We're just gonna call him after. So second place, this guy is a former champion. I guess you'd call it a current champion.
Returning champion.
Returning champion, yeah. Returning champion, the champion of the Species Challenge. Second place, 65 inches, Alex N. Norton. Alex. That guy's got decent big talent, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool.
First place. I know this guy's gonna be excited because you got to talk to him a little earlier, so I know he's pumped up. Dude, you did it, man. 65.75. I think that's the highest. We've only had 2 times, but I think that's the highest
score so far.
Score so today. Jordan, Uncle Dan,
Woo! There you go.
You know, I'm starting to see a little pattern here, Roman. I didn't realize this.
What, the dedication? The dedication and...
Not only the dedication, yeah. The top 3 guys, all on Friday.
Yeah.
All on Friday. I wonder if there's a good tide. Not saying that they didn't earn it, but I'm just saying Friday,
let's see what the next guest has to say about that. Oh, you went Friday also, huh? You go Friday also?
So guess what? To see if there was any big tide swings or what was going on that day.
Oops. Change the accident.
Oh, we're good.
Let me fix this.
1 second, Dan.
You go party split, and then I gotta update this NDI filter. Move. Okay. Time. Date. Oh, no, okay, almost there. There we go. Have it. Okay.
I'm gonna check out the chat while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Bro.
There we go. I think I got him on.
Got it on?
Okay. All right. Here we go, Mr. Jordan. Fishing with Uncle Dan in the house. Here we go. Oh, I need to change this mark quick. I got fancy. I put first place. Done. And swapping over. Here we go. What up?
What it do?
There he is.
What it do, people?
What's up, Jordan? How are you?
Doing good. What's going on, man?
Is that a fish tank I see behind you?
Yeah. It's a new hobby I'm starting.
Oh, that's cool. Are you into like cichlids or that looks like a freshwater tank or is that like a goby?
Right now they're just fancy guppies.
Guppies, yeah. That's where it always started out. I used to be in the fish tanks and it starts with gobies and guppies and the next thing you know you got a $200 cichlid swimming around in there.
Boy, I know. I'm kind of scared. I'm already looking at 100-gallon tanks.
There we go. That is all bad.
Yeah. Dude, congrats. Let me give you your length. 65.75. That's I think the biggest of both sessions. So awesome job, man. Dang.
Nice, man. It was a grind.
Legitimate length. Yeah, Mission Bay. But you know, I'm recognizing. I just noticed something. I noticed your shirt, and now we've seen this shirt 2 weeks in a row. What's going on here? Is that the Yak Ninja shirt?
Yak Ninjas, baby, come on!
All right, congrats, man. Congrats. You got George last week, Yak Ninja.
Yeah.
And now we got Jordan, Yak Ninja, man. You guys are slayers.
We fish a lot together.
Oh yeah.
All we do is just fish. That's it. We just fish.
Sounds like George had a rough week this week, but I'm sure we're going to see him. That's probably going to be his mulligan. I'm sure we'll see him back up the top in a week next week.
Probably.
Okay, so you fished on what day?
I fished Friday. It was the better weather of the day. Plus, I had to leave town over the weekend, so I only had like a very small window to fish.
Gotcha. And did you fish from your kayak?
No, I went on shore this time because I just needed to move a little bit quicker. And there a couple places that I fished, like I know fish are there. So like I just wanted to hit those spots real quick and see if I get on them. And then early morning, it was awful. It was just awful. And so I fished. Say again?
I can't believe this tournament from the shore, man. That's like double props, to be honest.
Hey, man, I'm still down for the shore pound, man. I'm still down for the shore pound.
Dang.
I guess the cool thing and the weird thing about this tournament is that we're doing everybody together, and there's always that everybody thinks that, oh, if somebody's on a boat, they have an advantage, or if you're on a kayak, you have an advantage, I guess, but not in this case.
No, I'll be honest.
Man, that's just proving it, dude.
I'll be honest with you, I've been fishing like Mission Bay for like 20 years, and I've always done better from shore than I ever did on my kayak. Always better from shore. That's the whole reason why. Like I think every time that I'm fishing Mission Bay, this time it'll be from shore.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm more comfortable in Mission Bay from shore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be your comfort. If I went to shore, it'd be a guaranteed skunk. I suck at shore. I lose. If I took 10 lures, I'd come home with 0. That's how
Oh, yeah. That's how the morning started.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Winter short pounding Mission Bay, that's like the worst, dude. Damn, that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, that's a whole different experience. So I mean, double props to even that, man. Shore pounding it. That's cool.
Pretty cool.
So, what time did you start at?
Guys, that means the fish are shallow.
Yeah, they're shallow, bro. I'm talking about. I can see the top of the eelgrass shallow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
What time did you start at in the morning?
I got there around 6, and then I walked around for a while just to, like I'm just gonna tell you, I was fishing Paradise Point.
Oh.
Yeah, Paradise Point is where I love to fish. It's just
big spots, but that's a good general area.
Yeah, no.
Paradise Point.
No, it's wide, and the best part about Paradise Point is the water's always moving. There's never a time that you'll see the eelgrass stand straight up. Even during slack tide, it always lay to one side, because it's at that point where water is still coming in or out of the little inlets that's back there. So that's what ended up working for me.
That's one of the most popular spots, is that area around there, around in front of Dana Landy kind of area, that big open area. That's once everybody hits Mission Bay, it seems like that area gets hit really hard right there. So
yeah, but it's changed a lot since they did the dredging. It used to be killer. It was killer before the dredging. After the dredging, you really had to look for them.
Yeah, I what was the dredge? 2018, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And man, once that happened, I noticed that all the shovel nose guitar fish are gone. The stingray population went way down. I think they dug up a lot of the razor clams and the artificial reefs that were down there. And I've noticed too that the big fish don't seem to be in the same areas they were. They're harder to find. Like pre-2018, Mission Bay was a lot easier, I think.
Yes, very much so. It was like one of my favorite places to fish.
Yeah, I remember seeing that dredge out there, just scooping it up and dumping it into that barge, just like heartbroken.
Yes.
Seeing big rocks and stuff come out. And, it was a disaster. All that eelgrass they pulled out. But I guess they had to do it because eventually it would just be a swamp if they don't, take out some sand here and there.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that's how that's like a man-made bay also. They created that bay, so I guess every 50 years or something they got to do that. Just a bummer it happened in our fishing lifetime.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Me and Roman were talking last week about that big barge they have parked out there with all the rocks on top of it. We weren't
kick some rocks over it.
Yeah, we were hoping that thing might flood overnight and all those rocks would dump off it, but It's gone now. Last weekend that thing's gone, so there goes our dream of our big reef right by the bridge. All right, so you've already given up a big spot. Thanks for doing that, and you gave some advice about shallow. What you want to talk about your setup, what you're using? You don't have to talk about baits or lures or anything, but maybe just your rod and reel.
You guys know me. I'm an open book. You could catch me anywhere, and you ask me what I use, I'll tell you exactly what I use. You ask me where I caught it, I'll tell you exactly where I caught it. I've always been an open book. I want you to catch as much fish as I catch, and if you got to go to my spot, as long as your fishing rod length away from me, we're golden. Because I side cast. I don't want to hit nobody. You know what I mean?
Hey, for those of you guys that don't know, Jordan does put out videos on YouTube as well. It's Fishing with Uncle Dan is his channel, so look him up. Do you have a custom URL on your channel, or it's just if we search for fishing fishing with Uncle Dan, and it'll come up, right?
Yep, I'm the only one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, while you guys talk it out, I'm gonna find the link and post it in the chat.
Nice, thank
Alright.
you.
So Jordan, I'm assuming Uncle Dan comes from Jordan, Uncle. Okay, I was a little confused there. I didn't know to call you Uncle Dan or Jordan. I'm just gonna call you Jordan. 'Cause Uncle
Yeah,
Dan
Jordan's
sounds
fine. Dan is my nickname. Dan is my nickname.
Okay, got it. So you're onshore. What setup are you using? What are you casting out there? What rod and reel are you using?
Well, I started off the morning using a 8-foot medium light California rod with a Daiwa 200 Tatula. You know, I fish lefties and I started off throwing big baits. 3/4 ounce with a 5-inch to 7-inch Z-Man in the mud minnow color. And I ended up losing all of them. Ended up losing all of them. That's with 20-pound fluoro. And I was like, oh my God, I'm losing so much gear. And then
there goes $20.
yeah, so then I changed spots. I looked for a more grassy. From shore, the way that the tide was going out, like I could see where where the grass was laying down. So if it's laying down to the right, I was looking for like a sandbar with grass to the left of it. You know what I mean? And then so I ended up changing to a drop shot, and then also changed to a Carolina rig. I kept changing setups to see what would work for me that didn't make me go crazy, because you get hung up a lot, you know, especially from shore too. You get hung up a lot. So I ended up sticking to a drop shot, but I ended up going ultralight.
I bet you went to the drop shot to slow it down a lot too, huh?
Oh yeah.
Probably because the swim bait was a little fast. Yeah, you went to the drop shot to slow it down, dude. And if you're an ultralight guy, I'm an ultralight guy. If it's going bad for me, I go right to the 8-6 pound stuff just to try to finesse stuff, like the drop shot 4 pound. Oh, that's crazy. 4 pound from shore.
Yeah, I was using.
But you get a monster cast with that. That's the cool thing.
Yeah, so it was 4-pound fluoro. I was using Daiwa Laguna 7-foot, and then my reel is like Daiwa Crossfires. I fish on a budget, so it's not like I'm buying like really expensive gear. You could buy this complete setup for $60 at Big 5.
Yep.
Yep. I ended up. It was I had. I've been doing a lot of trout fishing, so I had a trout setup in the truck. So I only brought the big rods with me. So I was like, I got to go lighter. It's not working. The big stuff's not working. So I pulled out that trout rod and it ended up working out for me.
Those trout rods too. When you catch a legal spotty on 6-pound test on a trout rod, that's a battle, dude.
Oh yeah. The first fish I caught was around like 8:30 in the morning, and I had already busted out the trout rod because I had broken off all the heavy gear. And so I busted out the trout rod. I only had like 1 foot between the weight and the hook, and I was bouncing it through the weeds, and I finally got that first hookup. But you set to the side, and then the fish goes straight into the grass, and I was like, oh man, I'm screwed. So I'm sitting there just waiting 5 minutes for this fish to swim out of the grass because I'm using 4-pound tests. And then finally he swims out and rod straight up, both arms tippy-toeing, just keep him up. Yeah. Then I changed the leader to 2 feet, and that kept my bait right above the eelgrass. So only the weight was dipping down into the grass, and then that bait just stayed right above it.
Hey, on your drop shot weight, are you using one of those skinny little bullet-looking
Yes.
drop shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key, I think, too.
Torpedo?
No, not even a torpedo. I was actually using the long skinny drop shot weights. They come in a ball, and then they come skinny too, that you just like slide your line in and pull it tight, and it stays. Yeah.
Like the rubber piece in there, the one you were using on that.
Yeah, I got one. Let me show it to you.
That's cool. Super cool. You can adjust.
Yeah, you could adjust it just by popping it off, making your leader shorter or making it longer. Yep, that one right there.
And they have this top that like
inches it, yeah.
Itself up on the line, so you can easily adjust them. Yeah.
That, and if you get hung up on the rocks too, it just pops it right off, and you get to keep your leader.
Yeah, and I like these versus this kind of style, which looks like a little bell, I guess.
Tip drop, yeah.
the teardrop, because these slide through, like you said, they'll slide through the eelgrass, or a little easier to control, especially on that ultralight. The efficient ultralight, that's your setup right there.
Yeah.
And if these get snagged up, usually they'll just break off right here.
Yep.
You just connect another. You don't lose your whole setup.
Very cool.
That's
cool advice on that.
That's my go-to stress rig. Like when I'm stressing out, and they're like, it's like, oh, we gotta catch some fish.
I think everybody eventually, when they stress out, go to that drop shot, and usually it's if they're really stressed out, it's a drop shot with some kind of chartreuse lure on there. Like, oh, this is it. I'm gonna throw out the chartreuse. I'm going for everything here.
Yeah, I ended up using the Berkeley flat-nosed minnow, the 4-inch in black, the black shiner, because it way more action. It just because I've been trout fishing so much that I can't stop the tip of my rod from shaking when I'm using it. So,
it's funny,
and it works.
How all that translates. Like, you learn that from trout fishing, and for some reason it seems like all fishing kind of comes down to spotty fishing. No matter what we're doing, we could fish with trout rigs, bass rigs, I mean, crocodile lures that we catch, calicos on. The spotties seem to bite whatever we throw at them.
Yeah. And it just worked out. All I kept doing was looking for the big sandbars with the eelgrass next to it, and I would cast right parallel to the eelgrass. And they were just, you could watch them because I'm fishing 3 feet of water. You could see, you could see where your bait lands. You could see it coming back to you, and then you just see them come straight out. And you're like, oh.
Yep.
The one fish I caught on Saturday was in a similar area in a similar structure, everything describing. It's hilarious, dude. I'm like, oh.
That's where it was.
And then it moved from there to go look for other fish.
No, I did the same thing. I caught that one fish at Paradise, and then nothing for an hour and a half, almost 2. And I was only able to fish until noon. I had an alarm set for noon because I had to get the family ready to leave town. And then so I had jumped in the truck. I went to go fish the boat dock real quick. I went to go fish the other side of the point of Paradise Point. I don't know what beach that's called, but I went that way. Nothing, not a single hit. I couldn't find them. And then I ended up going back to where I originally started.
Interesting. That's what I should have done. Very cool.
I think you're right, man. The grass. When you see that grass, that sand combo, that's the golden ticket.
Yeah.
You find grass, rocks, and sand. Dang.
Yeah.
That's the legit setup right there. You can find that.
I even told a couple of the guys where I was at.
Sunglasses.
Say that again?
I said, did you use good sunglasses, like polarized sunglasses?
Yeah. Oh, no.
No, straight.
Just straight like dark water, clear water, dark water, clear water, dark water. Yeah. Dark water and clear water. Yeah.
Sunglasses are good just for the sake of like not getting hooked to the eyeball. Too.
Yeah, that too. That too.
You know when you think you're still out there and like you're right there and you hit the rock right next to you, you're like, oh, and it's like.
Yeah. That thing whizzes past your face.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to set my hook sideways because I'm afraid I'm gonna hit myself in the eyeball one of these days.
I got the last 4 fish, I think, in the last like 45 minutes. So I hooked one.
Oh.
Yeah, I hooked one. Took the pictures real quick, threw them back in the water, cast it in the exact same place, hooked another one, and then I moved like 3 feet over, and then casted a little bit further away, and then hooked the next 2. Same place. They were all stacked up in this one little area, and you could actually see it because it was completely surrounded in sand, and just a big island of grass. And so I was like,
so you caught only 5 fish?
Yeah, I only caught 5.
Wow. See, once again, 5 killer fish.
Done, dude.
5 and done. That is awesome.
Well, cool.
Jordan, congrats, man. So you're on your way to Angler of the Month. I hope you do good next. I hope you can add up this one and next week's and get that Angler of the Month. You're on top right now, buddy.
I'm hoping.
Super cool. Yeah, congratulations, man. It's good to see you out here doing this.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys throwing this thing, man.
Yeah, we like having you on there. And hey, representing Yak Ninja too. Go for it, man. Right on.
Yeah, San Diego Bay is always from the Yak, though. You'll always see me on the Yak from NSD Bay.
Well, Jordan, thank you so much for participating in the tournament. Thanks for coming on. I know I'm going to be talking to you again one night, so when I get out there, I'll see you on the water, man. Wave me down.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Bye,
Hey,
guys.
Jordan.
Just right here.
And number one, he's a Yak Ninja. We just talked to him. 126.25. Uncle Dan Jordan.
Dang, nice. So you're the leader right now. So the top 4 people that right now, currently as it stands, you guys are going to playoffs, but there's still a lot of fishing to be fished. There's still a lot of fish to be caught.
Let's end it right now. I like my position.